Okay, we're recording. Yay. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Um, this is a really cool presentation and discussion, mostly just, hi Cassie, there she is,
Hi.
fantastic.
Hi.
Yeah, glad you can sign on. We just got started, so you didn't miss anything.
Hey, Brenda.
So this is a great discussion with one of our alums. We do a series of these because our alums have had really varied experiences, both in our program, but also beyond. And it's wonderful for us to keep track of what they're doing and how they're moving through life and what choices they've been able to make and things open up for them. So today we have Brenda Hershey, and I'm going to let her do her own introduction. But she also and I also would love to go through and just, if you would like, just, do a quick introduction about yourself, what you're interested in, and then that way we can tailor the conversation more towards your guys's sort of ideas or plans. And also to let you know, Cassie has kindly sent in some questions that she was interested in advance, and Brenda has them, so we'll go through those as well. And feel free to, wave your hand and put your hand up or whatever you want to do. Put a chat in if you want to have a question or comment, because we do want to make this really interactive as much as possible. Um, so, oh, and I should tell you my name too. So, so my name's Ariane Newton. I'm the director of programs at IPSL, and work very closely with students to set up their programs and to make sure that they're getting what they need with our partners abroad and beyond. So that's what I do, and I love it.
Hi guys. Thank you for showing up. I'm extra. My name's Brenda, and I'm your co-host today. I'm extra excited about this webinar because now I'm like on the other end. Like I'm an international humanitarian, and the vast majority of my life I was just trying to be this. So I'm super excited to be able to have this conversation with you and to share space with a group of people with the same interest. And I'll tell you more about myself once I start the presentation, but I am tuning in from Iraqi Kurdistan. So if you hear any background noise, I had to come to a hookah cafe because the electricity went out in my building about 10 minutes before this started. And that is the life of a global humanitarian. So whoever wants to go next, and again, as Ariane said, the more interactive this is, the better, because whatever questions you guys have, I'm sure, I'll share with you my experience, but the more value this can bring to you, that's the purpose of it. So be as interactive or little as you like.
I'll go first. I'm Cass or Casselin. I am doing the Greece program this September and October. I'm super excited. I'm going to be working under a painter who paints portraits of refugee children, and helping him with his exhibitions and stuff. And the proceeds go towards social change. I am aiming to be a professional artist with social practice while also incorporating my energy healing. So just trying to figure out a way to do that overseas because it is more self-employment, but also finishing my bachelor's currently too. So what I'm looking for is to find a job overseas. I'm thinking Spain. Obviously somewhere near warm weather and a beach would be preferable, but I'll take what I can get work papers from. So just trying to figure out options. I've been on Workaway, but a lot of times those aren't paid or they don't provide the work papers. So just trying to figure out, I know it said you have to have at least 3 months, I believe, in the US ahead of time, a job before you enter the country if you're gonna work there. So trying to figure all that out and how to stay over. And yeah, so.
Well, I can go next. So I'm also planning to do the Guatemala program this September, which I'm really excited about. Still haven't applied, definitely hope to do that soon. But yeah, I decided to come here because I am looking for some inspiration. I work in the nonprofit world right now. So I work in education, helping teachers, and a little bit burnt out now. So I'm hoping for some inspiration, just collecting people's stories of how they broke into this field that I'm very interested in. And also I'm interested in the credentials to see if they are pretty general, if they vary per country, how do you get a job in this field? So some of the practical stuff and also just some of the inspiring stories that y'all may have.
I can start or I can volunteer next. Hi, my name is Olivia. And I guess, I'm kind of here just to kind of really get a, an idea where to start. So I left the corporate world and taking this time this year really to try to focus on maybe just finding more deeper meaning and purpose in life than to be in the corporate world of constant stress and anxiety and just like you, Callie, I was just burnt out, and with last year it's just kind of giving me a lot of time to just reflect. And in turning 50, I was like, you know what? I think there's bigger things I'm meant to do in this world than what I've been doing the last 50 years. I think, as a young woman, I achieved my milestone of being successful corporate woman. And I found out that wasn't really as fulfilling as what I've been aiming for the last 50 years. So what I'm hoping to get out of this is inspiration and what's my next path, what can I invest in the latter part of my life on this earth, and what I kind of do to serve more humanity, for more meaningful ways than to make corporations get richer. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now to try to get some inspiration and some ideas.
I can go next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Bridget. I will be doing the Greece program as well, Caslin, but I'll be doing it June to July. Yeah. But I'm really excited to do a homestay. I've never been abroad more than like a week or two, so I'm really excited. I've never heard the phrase global humanitarian, but it sounds like something I'm really interested in. I'm particularly interested in, I think similar to Caslin, without the art, where I want to work with like the refugee and immigration community and kind of find out how I'm a resource to those people, what they actually need, that sort of thing.
Okay, so how about Zulay? And by the way, I see your message, Zulay, in the chat, so we'll address that as well. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Can everybody hear me?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I'm waiting to be fully accepted to the program. And my plans are, originally it seemed like we had to choose between like the online and then going abroad. But then recently I got an email about the possibility to travel all semesters. And that to me is very tempting. I would rather just like be outside and doing hands-on things and meeting people than like being online all the time. So I'm really interested in traveling throughout the program, and then interested in continuing to do that after graduation. And I think that aligns with the question that I posted.
Thank you, guys. And I should say, Zulay, you're correct me if I'm wrong, but you're applying for the graduate program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, great. The other thing too, Brenda, we didn't check in on this. You had some slides, right? Or something you wanted to present? Okay, tell me when you would like to do that. And can you see Zulay's question in the chat?
Actually, no. Was it
Oh.
to everyone?
Oh, no, it's to me. So let me, why don't you tell me if you want to start your presentation first and then answer the questions?
Actually, yeah. I
Okay.
think that would be good because some questions might get answered, or if there's a part in my presentation, guys, at any point where you're like, this is the time to ask this question, just stop me.
Okay, I'm gonna put this. Okay,
And what an inspiring group of people already. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I have now given you access. So let me know if it's working.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see my
Okay.
screen?
Very good. Yeah, it's black still, but
Okay. Let me know when you can see it.
mhm. Okay, we can see it.
Okay. Well, I can't see my notes, so guys, forgive me if
Oh, there should be a way.
isn't there a way? If not, it's fine.
What if you do exit full screen? What does that do?
Then, yeah,
No. Oh, then it looks like that.
yeah. I think it's fine for now. I might go back and forth every now and again.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so guys, as I said, I'm especially excited about this webinar. I think if you have the desire, there's more and more people with a desire to like serve and help people. And for global humanitarians, I feel like it's a special group of people. And although there's so much suffering in the world and so much opportunity for us, it's still somehow a very competitive industry or field. And so I think it's really important to surround yourself with people with similar goals and to kind of exchange ideas and brainstorm and get sparks of inspiration. So let's do this. So who am I? Here I've listed a few of the labels. I'm an IPSL alumni and ambassador, alumna, trauma recovery yoga instructor and global ambassador. I recently published a personal strategic planning workbook, so I'm an author, and a humanitarian aid worker. But I think what will be much more relatable is my story. So I grew up in rural Ohio. And can I just see a show of hands of any black sheep in the family? Yeah. Yeah. That feels right. So I always resonated with this idea of being a humanitarian and being somewhere else, but I had no examples up until I was in college. And even then, I can't say that I knew someone who was doing that. I had no like real life examples of someone who was doing this work. So, you know, that comes with all of the challenges to overcome. Just getting to that place where you feel strong and you continue to work for and pursue like this field. So good for you for still showing up for it, however you got here. So I grew up in rural Ohio and I got a bachelor's in international relations. I minored in peace and diplomacy, the Middle East, and Arabic. And during college, despite studying international relations, I apologize for the background noise. This is the Middle East. Despite studying that, I had all these limiting beliefs as to why I was not able to study abroad. And they were justified. I was working full time. I had a bunch of bills to pay. Like, I didn't know how it was possible for me at the time. And after college, fast forward, I moved to Chicago, where I lived for the last 5 years in the States. And I got some professional experience. as an executive assistant. And it wasn't until I was 24 that I actually traveled abroad. I went to Cuba with an organization that I happened to do like online admin work for. And I went there for a week. I got the travel bug and I was like, oh my God, I finally have my passport. I went to Palestine like 6 months later, and I studied there for a few weeks and volunteered. And since then, I just haven't stopped. I just feel like my soul getting stronger and stronger, you know? And I just keep seeking out opportunities to do these kinds of work, these kinds of things. So it was after Palestine that I decided to go back to get my master's degree. I was also working in an architecture firm at the time, and I was around people who were really passionate about the work they were doing every day. So all the travel combined with this really pushed me to go back, and I got my master's in community development and action from a university in Chicago. And it was, I was halfway through my program, so a year in, and I was in one of those like low points in my life, like lost a job, went through a terrible breakup. And I was really reevaluating, like, what is important to me? What do I want to do with my life? And I found trauma recovery yoga, and I also found IPSL. And it occurred to me that if I ever wanted to study abroad, this was my last opportunity. And so I applied for the program, still with all these limiting beliefs, right? I was like, nah, I'll apply. Let's see. And the support I received throughout the entire process, like that whole year leading up to me leaving for Greece, I just can't speak highly enough of the support I received and how that made it possible for me to study abroad. So that's kind of my story. I'll tell you more about Greece specifically, but first, a little bit about IPSL. And Ariane, please, I'll ask you to add to this. So IPSL Global Institute is an institute within the National University of Natural Medicine, NUNM, as most of you probably know. What I just love so much about it is that it's a grassroots organization and it's rooted in service learning. And because of these two aspects, the opportunities for you and the possibilities are just exponential, so much more than what I think would be available with any kind of corporate-y similar organization, you know? They offer customizable programs for non-students. I always advocate that, even undergrad and graduate students. My program was super customized, and they're really good about working with you to, and I was very specific too. So working with you to make sure that that your experience is catered to your interests and what you want to, and your goals and what you want to pursue in your life. And that's like invaluable. So there's truly something for everyone. I recently had a call with a 60-something-year-old man in Canada because he was interested in IPSL. He saw my event on Eventbrite, and he was retired. And I was like, that's cool. Like, it's truly, there's something for everyone. They give you the tools to be an ethical service partner abroad. So they don't just throw you in. You're not only prepared, but you continue to receive the support you need throughout the program from your director, especially you guys going to Greece. I'm so excited for you. And the director, Victoria, is like, she's like an aunt to me, and she will be for the rest of my life. Like the super cool aunt. And also like the programs themselves are like, you're so connected to the local community once you're there in Greece. Victoria, like the connections that IPSL has will really open up like limitless opportunities for you. And Castellan, I know the artist that that you're talking about because I visited his loft with Bill, the professor, and we got to see his artwork, and he was telling us about his work with the Syrian refugees, and the world is really your classroom when you're in any of these programs, actually. They also have an IRB, an institutional review board for research abroad, which I'm also working with them right now on, and I'm super excited about. They have programs all over the world. The professors are local. And yeah, the connections once you're there are limitless. So the world is your classroom, and that's all I have for that. Although I could go on and on. Ariane, would you like to add anything?
Oh, you did a great job. As you can tell, Brenda is our current ambassador. So in many ways, in heart and soul, but also she's been invaluable helping us spread the word through her connections. I would add that we are a very small organization, and we work through partnerships. That's how we make things happen. So we want to empower our communities to do the work that they do and to share the knowledge that they have in partnership with us and our students. And that's super important to us. So yeah, it's a different kind of beast. Oh no, did Brenda freeze?
I'm back. Oh, you're muted. Sorry, guys.
It's like we never have done this before. Well, only a year and a half of it.
Right.
So
I never know if, like, actually Mercury's in retrograde. So what can we do?
what can we do? Go forth, Brenda.
Okay, actually, I will reshare my screen. Here we are. Don't mind my messy desktop. Okay. So, oh, and also IPSL gives back like 75% to the local community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Okay, Brenda,
okay.
your screen is black.
Oh, okay. Give it a second.
Oh no, did we lose her again? Why don't we talk about Zulay's question that she wrote in about? Oh, there she is.
I'm sorry, I don't know why it keeps dropping off.
It's okay. Let's move forward.
Let's do this. So let me know when you can see my screen.
We can see pictures. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So in Greece, I told you I had a customized program, and that it was. So I was working for Trauma Recovery Yoga at the time, and I still am an ambassador and instructor. But I wanted to incorporate that, which I'm really passionate about, along with my degree, which was Community Development and Action. And we ended up, with the help of IPSL, a lot of help, morphing it. And my thesis was on trauma-informed community development in refugee camps. So I'm also very passionate about working with the refugee population, which I'm doing here now in Iraq. So through the connections of Victoria in Greece, the director, we worked with a local organization, and they placed me in 3 different places. So I taught trauma recovery yoga to children in a homeless shelter, to refugee women in an organization, and there was an opportunity to volunteer in the camp just outside the city. But they were a little hesitant about the yoga. So I told them like, what do you need? And I ended up teaching English to unaccompanied minors in the refugee camp outside the city. So here is me with the women, refugee women. These are the children in the shelter. All of these experiences are just like cherished memories I will have for the rest of my life. This is the camp that I was visiting. And by the way, in Greece, if you're interested in the refugee population, you are like history is in the making and you are there witnessing it. Like there were groups of refugees like walking along the streets with all of their belongings that had just gotten off of boats, walking to these camps. And that happened on several occasions. And so the news that you're hearing, you're also seeing it. And, you know, because Greece is the gateway to Europe. So there's just so much happening there. That really is an invaluable experience. Like how else to describe it? These are from the English class in the camp. Can you see the screen? Yeah.
Here it is. Yes.
Okay, guys. Well, you know, being a global humanitarian isn't all peaches and roses. But I apologize. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, so the placements were super customized to me and my interests. And yeah, Castellan, as you know, like working with that artist, it's going to be such a unique experience. And even the energy healing, I met a Reiki healer who I met for coffee a few times. So like there would just be so many opportunities for you to seek out what you're interested in, and for it to kind of morph into something beautiful.
Connected, if you still have connections to that person.
Yeah, actually, she's a friend of Victoria. So I'll say something to her about this. Yeah. And also I had cool opportunities to travel. Before Greece, I took a pit stop in London. And then I was in Greece. I had a long weekend in Sofia, Bulgaria, which was like a 3-hour bus ride north. And then so this is Bulgaria on the left. And then this silly picture is me at Mount Olympus. Victoria and I hiked Mount Olympus. I went on another hiking trip in the Bulgarian mountains. I visited Istanbul and Prague afterwards. So Greece is especially a really cool location because there's so much around it. But anywhere you go, like there will be more opportunities for you to see what's nearby. Okay, so that's me. And now I would like to share some of what I've learned in getting to where I am. And these are just some bits of wisdom and some tips. And so guys, interject at any point. So first, in everything you do, you should know your why, right? But especially something this big. So ask yourself these questions. Who do you want to positively impact? How do you envision yourself serving? And why do you want to do this in the first place? I would say, and I can email this to anyone if you want to write your email in the chat. I can email you the presentation. But getting clear on these things, and there are some more things in the next slide, in addition to this, but it'll help you now, like with short-term motivation and with long-term success. And especially a trek like this big, yeah, being clear, having a vision is very important. So know your why. Second, know your value. What do you uniquely bring to the table? Because that is what will fuel you and what will attract organizations that are abroad and that have a world full of candidates. That, like, what is intriguing about you? What do you own? Shift your approach from I need this job to like it'll be mutually beneficial. So knowing your value and using that approach when you look for international humanitarian jobs. Because I was just inspired. I mean, you guys said not too much and it was just enough. Like, you can feel the energy of this group is really powerful. So you have a lot of value to bring. Know that. Do some reflecting and get some clarity and move forward with intention. So I did not plan to plug my book in this, Ariane, I swear. But here we are. When I was really contemplating, like, okay, for the 5 years in Chicago, you know, I sought out, like, I was volunteering with refugees and I was doing things. But what really helped me stay on track is what I was asking myself when I was preparing what to share with you guys. And a few years ago, I created a personal strategic plan. I learned how to create strategic plans in my master's program. And I was like, why don't we have these for our lives, like personally? Like, I could really use some clarity to focus all of my passionate but scattered energy. So I created a personal strategic plan. And in it, so this is the book I just published, is a workbook. And in it, it helps you, it breaks it down very simply and helps you clarify your purpose. Even if you don't want to get the book, that's cool. But to think about these concepts, clarify your purpose, your core values, what's important to you. Set your goals, short, medium, and long-term goals. And check in with yourself on those goals. You can even just Google how to create a mission statement, a vision statement, and we'll talk about vision more because that for me is a big one. The impact you're having in the short term and your legacy. We can't really determine our legacy, but we can be intentional about creating one that we're proud of. So especially for humanitarians, like, you know, and creating an action plan. Very important. So I'll elaborate a little bit on the vision, because for me, that's the one aspect, even of the plan, that really fueled me since I was a little kid. Since I was a kid on the farm in Ohio, I just had pictures of Chicago and like all around the world, all over my walls. I had this vision. I didn't know what to do with it or how to work toward it, but I had the vision. And so create a vision board. That's one of my big tips. And ask yourself, if you close your eyes and imagine yourself as a global humanitarian, whatever that looks like for you, what are you doing? Who is around you? You know, what do you hear? Where are you? How do you feel? And thinking about, like, tuning into how you feel when you put yourself in that vision is the key to, like, really attracting it into your life. I'm not going to get all Abraham Hicks on you, but that's an important one. And again, guys, if you would like to be sent the presentation afterwards, if you don't want to write this down, put your email in the chat and I'll send it to you. So just getting clear on your vision to help you work toward whatever it is that you want to do. And know that being a global humanitarian, people are playing dominoes. Being a global humanitarian isn't like one thing in particular. It can really be like whatever it is that you have in your mind. Like, I'm here in Iraq. Oh, I didn't tell you what I'm doing. And that My time in Greece directly led me here to Iraq. I met a man in the laundromat like 3 days before I left Greece, and we started talking, and he was like, actually, I just left Iraq and they're trying to fill my position. Would you be interested in like a humanitarian position there? And I was like, shut up. Yeah. And so he emailed the organization and I sent my resume. And a month later, I was here. And we'll talk about networking in a second. Yeah.
I just wanted to add to this because I think this is a really important piece, not only for, you know, how IPSL works, but just how life works. And that is, in order to have these things appear to you, you need to consciously put yourself in a position where you're open to possibilities. So that's one of the powerful things about our programs is while you're learning and doing things, if you're on our degree programs, you're not studying in a classroom, you're out doing and experiencing, and that positioning of yourself in the world is what creates these opportunities. And so Brenda had that when she was out in the world doing her work. And it just, you know, those are the things that I think are the most powerful opportunities for you. And they rarely happen if you are closed in and in your little bubble. You need to be out there doing things.
Totally. I kind of have that on a slide, but that's like, yeah, one of the main things, right? Yeah. So I came here a month after leaving Greece, and my position was with an international organization, and I was managing a medical clinic in a refugee camp here in Iraq at the beginning of the pandemic. So it was a very interesting experience. Everything, thank God, was totally fine. That, and then I had a couple months off over the summer, and I've been working with a local organization now. So I also went through the process of, you know, I stayed here instead of going home, and I decided to look for another position because I felt that felt right. So my gut told me to do. So the whole process of job hunting here in another country, and you know what? It was through connections that I got this other job. I applied to probably 75 positions, and by putting myself out there, now I'm working on a livelihoods project. I'm a team leader, and we are helping Syrian refugees and displaced Yazidi people start and expand small businesses, and we're helping farmers in the area. So that's what I'm up to now.
Did you not have to wait then, like to get your job a certain time period before you enter the country? Like
No. No, actually, yeah, we can speak to some of your questions now. So for me, in Iraq at least, other countries might be different, but as far as I know, once you get, if it's an international organization, local organizations are a little different. I'm the only expat in the entire organization. So it's more likely that it's going to be an international organization anyways. As far as I know, like here, I could get a visa on arrival, and the organization, in my experience, always gets you papers. So if it's an international organization, in all of my experiences, they do all of that for you. You don't need a job like set up before you come or anything like that. It might depend on some country situations, but these were actual photos on my vision board a couple of years ago, along with some others, but these were some. I just have them still on my computer, and this was a picture of me last year in the camp. We were distributing hand-sewn face masks during the pandemic in a camp. So like seeing your visions come to life, you know, like what's more fulfilling than that? Helping other people make theirs come to life, I guess. Next, networking. To Ariane's point, every, you know, kind of shifting your perspective to every interaction you having, being that potential connection that like gets you there, you know? So, especially for international positions, I think having your like LinkedIn updated is really important because organizations in other countries have no other, you know, way to connect with you, right? So things like that, having them updated, having them reflect how you feel, like reflect yourself in a way that you feel is representative of how you want to be presented. You know what I mean? Networking, very important. And like I said, I got the first job here by networking in this, you know, by putting myself out there. In the second job, 90% of the people at my first organization, all through connections, they had been hired.
Are there any other platforms that international humanitarian organizations use on a regular basis to not only spread the word about what they're doing, but also to hear what others are doing? So in other words, make connections other than LinkedIn.
It's a good question. Not that I know of. These websites I have here are some popular job searching sites that I know of. It'll probably be best if these are sent to you guys, whoever wants them. But otherwise, I think LinkedIn is the main like social platform, even here. Yeah, and for international organizations, these are mainly European. So it's more of like European style everything. And then, yeah, these are different sites, especially Relief Web, the first one. There are a lot of Greek jobs on there with refugees. And start doing the work now. So to your point, really putting yourself out there and just doing, I mean, we do this work because we're passionate about it. We would do it for free, a lot of it, let's be honest, but we need money to live. So volunteer, as I'm sure you guys are probably doing or have done all of this. Volunteer with relevant populations or in the type of work you want to be doing, travel, serve in whatever way you are passionate about. For me, you know, I went to Cuba and then I was like, okay, Palestine. I did natural disaster work in Puerto Rico. And by doing all of these, by creating these opportunities for myself, I was surrounding myself with people. And now I have a huge network of people who are passionate about doing the same kind of thing. And it's that networking by just starting to do the work now, from where you are with what you have, because you can do something, even if it's small. Small is actually very big in the broader scheme of things. So one step at a time. And yeah, I think just one more time to reiterate what you said, Ariane, putting yourself out there. If you take that one baby step, the universe is going to respond to that, and they're going to give you another opportunity and another opportunity. So start from where you are, and the rest will come if you're open to it. And there's no application site for that kind of power, that kind of magic, you know? And then this is my information. So I would love to connect with you guys, really. And if you're interested in the book at all, my website, it's on my website. Otherwise, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yeah. And also, just real quick, I heard energy healing and some other different forms of healing. I am a trauma recovery yoga instructor, and I teach some meditation, and I've been able to incorporate that in what I'm doing here, which is really cool. So just one more time to reiterate or to stress the point that being a global humanitarian can be whatever you want it to be. Mm-hmm.
And I really liked, Brenda, thank you. I really liked that you pointed out that we all have something that's unique about us that we can give, that on first glance you think, oh no, that doesn't apply, that's not really, doesn't really fit in. But the thing is that it all fits in. It is all connected, and you can always find ways to bring your passion, your particular personal passion, into the work that you do. And that's what creates the value, and that's what creates that sort of what do I want to say, the memory. I mean, you stand out. You stand out because you are the one that does Reiki or whatever it is that you're doing. And that makes you more visible to potential, employment and career work. So I think that's really important. Bring your passions and your values to it.
Totally. And I was doing both, like trauma recovery yoga and volunteering with refugee populations in Chicago before, but IPSL really helped me merge the two abroad even. So it was like 2 levels up. I think that's just an invaluable experience to, if it available to you, to take advantage of. Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to first, Zulay has been very patient. She has a question that she sent to me, so I'll just read it, and then maybe we can talk about that. And then if there's any, I'm sure there's other questions that Cassie had written in about, and then just pipe in with whatever questions you guys have. So this is from Zulay. She's wondering if it's possible after graduation to apply to one company that can allow you to travel to many countries, or will applicants be in a position where they will be continuously applying to different positions throughout their travels? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is, can you apply to one organization that kind of will take you, open up all those opportunities for you? Well, if you find out the answer, let me know. But honestly, I kind of see IPSL as that. That was the organization that opened up all these opportunities to travel for me. Not only during the experience in Greece, and wherever you go, because they have local partners in all over in each of their programs. So I think in this one, by going through an IPSL program, it opens up so many doors for you. And then from there, God only knows what's gonna, when you keep following the breadcrumbs, what's gonna open up for you. Oh, you're muted.
I see that. Did we answer your question, Zulay? Okay, cool.
Cool.
Do you want to, Cassie, are there any other questions you really want to talk about on the list that you sent us?
Mm-hmm.
Just I guess too, I don't have a bachelor's yet. I'm planning on, just because I'm tight on money, I'm planning on trying to find a job overseas in whatever format I can, whether it's local, at a dishwasher, whatever. Do you have any recommendations, I guess, for the easiest way to find a job that you don't need a bachelor's degree for, because I'm hoping to finish the last semester I have spring of 2022. But until then, I won't actually have a bachelor's.
And just to be clear, my understanding, Cassie, is that after your program in the fall in Greece, you want to be able to stay on,
Yeah, just because.
work and continue
Yeah.
to get your degree.
And I'm open to different places. Obviously, just Spain was one I was looking at because the cost of living is a little cheaper and stuff. Just to also try. I've never been abroad either, so just to kind of travel and see different countries.
Mhm.
Well, you know, I really feel you in like in the healing work. It seems like that's a big part of your passion and what you plan to do.
Mhm.
Fortunately, I think since COVID has hit, the world is online, which will open up a lot of opportunities for you to do the kind of work you want to do. You'll just have to be really entrepreneurial and
Yeah.
kind of take it by the horns. Yeah. I'm
And that's
here.
what I'm. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's the thing too, like because I'm self-employed in the US, like I would prefer eventually to be self-employed elsewhere, but from what I've read online, like the job has to be in need. And I'm not really sure what the self-employment process looks like if I need to get, a job, working at a restaurant or something or a hostel, and then, start doing my own self-employment once I'm over there. So just kind of having something where I'm for sure like not gonna have to travel back to the US and then travel back, just kind of staying over there would be ideal.
You know, I have quite a few friends who bounce around a bit. Like you can stay for 6 months in one country and 6 months in another. And so if you're self-employed that way, I don't see why you couldn't just have a tourist visa.
Are
Do your
they
stuff online.
are they Americans?
No,
Okay.
they're European, Australian. But
Yeah, because the Americans, it says you can only stay there for up to 3 months, and then you can leave. For I think I forget how long, and then come back. So
okay. Yeah, and things have changed since COVID.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us.
Yeah. I think it'll
But
go back. I think we'll revert back. How long it will take, I don't know. With obviously the less stringent entry and staying requirements. But I think that if you're okay with being entrepreneurial, as Brenda said, and having your own, basically your own consulting energy work business, if you can only stay 3 months and you have a few clients, that's great. Maybe they have family in some other country and then you go there that they can recommend to you. So start thinking about like, oh, who do you know? Knowing that you may have to leave because of your status, ask around, like, do you have family or people you know in other countries that might want to have this type of work in their life, and energy work and different things in their life, and then see what happens. So just being really, really open to going to wherever you can follow, as Brenda said, the breadcrumbs of the work.
yeah, I think the just have a stable income too. The working like with work papers, a job locally or through an organization would be the best to start off. I'm thinking the self-employment will come down the line once I have papers to stay over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that piece of having like a steady part-time thing will come when you get there. I don't know if that's something you can plan beforehand.
Okay.
And in my experience, I tried to plan everything and it
Yeah.
doesn't work out that way. So I had,
Yeah.
I had a reality check, but yeah, if you have the intention, I don't see why it wouldn't work out.
Yeah, like law of attraction, kind of just trusting the process to work out.
Exactly.
Cool.
Any other questions or comments or anything from anyone?
I have a quick one about language for Brenda. How proficient were you in Greek or Arabic when you got that job offer, I suppose? Because I think part of the reason I see myself working in international agencies is because I have such limited language experience. But I do think working for a local organization would be amazing when I think about who I want to be around, what I want to do. But I do think I'm several years away as far as language goes.
And would you want to learn Spanish?
Yes, which I'm sure I'm very capable of doing. I just haven't got a chance.
Oh
to
yeah, yeah, you are for sure. If I'm learning Arabic, I'm sure you girl, you're good.
Yeah.
You know, I was at like low intermediate when I got the position here, and that was much more than my coworkers in this international organization in Arabic. And I studied it in college, and I studied in Palestine for a couple weeks. And now though, so I had opportunities to practice if I really put myself out there, and because otherwise you can speak English in most places. It's fortunately for us the international language. But now with this local organization, the opportunities they have just exponentially expanded for me to improve my language. And my fiance is from Syria. So now I'm way more motivated to like really boost my language skills. So if you put yourself in the place, I think very naturally, there are going to be opportunities for you if you have the desire to, yeah, really increase your language skills. And once you start understanding like bit by bit, it's so encouraging to, like with language. I love learning Arabic. So yeah, good question.
Where was your Greek at language level? Like,
0.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
trying to, but
Greek, yeah. But I think it's really important. I learned like some basics, you know, like, hello, how are
Yeah.
you? I'm good. Where's the bathroom? So anywhere you go, learn the basics before you go, of course. But yeah, as I said, like you can get by with English. Like you shouldn't usually have a problem with that. But it's respectful, and people appreciate the effort that you make to learn the basics. Yeah.
and then just kind of off topic a little, packing. Like, did you just pack as light as you could for your stay, or?
Yeah. I'm kind of a minimalist, so just give me like 5 pairs of black leggings and 5 of the same shirts in different colors, and that's pretty much all I need. And my yoga mat. Yeah, so being smart about how you pack, for sure.
I think quick interjection about packing. I would say definitely travel light. If there's something that you need when you arrive and you don't have it, you can pretty much find it wherever you are. And you know, the joy of spending time away from your home in many ways is to feel that lightness of being. And if you're encumbered with a lot of stuff around you that you have, you forfeit that. And that lightness, I think, feeds into your sense of freedom and your sense of openness about who you are becoming in this new place. And so I'm a very much like, I don't like to try, I don't like to cart around a lot of stuff. Plus I've had many experiences with luggage getting lost forever. So, but I do think there's something to be said about what you have around you, the possessions that you have around you, and how that affects how you move through your world and how you're thinking about things. And so, yeah.
Actually, that's a beautiful take on it. Thanks for sharing that. Any other questions or comments? Guys, please reach out to me with anything if you'd like to. I'd love to have conversations with you all. And thanks for sharing the space. This was great.
And Brenda, I have everyone's emails. So if you don't capture them in the chat, I've got them written down. So
I copied them.
yeah, so
Thank you.
I'll give that to you, and then you guys can just take it away and share the presentation if you want, and do whatever. So encourage one of the best parts of our job, I think, is convening people together and seeing what flowers out of it is pretty awesome. So thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Mhm.
I appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda. We'll talk soon.
Thank you all. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.